Welcome to Backstory and Beyond. My name is John Daniel, and I'm humbled to be your host. But I'm thrilled to be here with my special guest, Jamie Duemo. Jamie and I are on site here at the NAB Show 2026 in Las Vegas. This is a place where media, entertainment, and storytelling converge. Jamie Duemo worked both in vendor and customer side at organizations such as Turner Discovery, NBC Universal, Paramount, and Amazon Web Service. Then she formed Dynadue with her husband in June 2023. I had the pleasure of meeting this lady who was doing a superb job at the Devon Croft special presentation here. She was facilitating a wonderful panel discussion focused on sports and the industry in general. I'll let her talk more about that. But Jamie, it's just good to have you here.
Thank you.
Thank
This
you
is
so
great.
much. This is fantastic. Look, Backstory and Beyond really is all about people becoming their best.
Mm.
Your experience speaks to that. And you continue to go to be and reach that peak potential. But the variations of being your best include things like purpose,
Yeah.
calling, thinking about what your peak human potential is based upon your gifts and talents and the skills that you gained along the way. And then finally, what service is it to others? And that's a hugely important issue for Backstory. Ultimately, we want to kick this off, and it's really the most important part of the show, to better understand what knit you together to be the professional you are. Folks, this lady is a founder of an organization, and the name of the organization is Dynadue.
Dynadue.
It's doing some fantastic work in technology as a partner, revolutionizing media workloads by unleashing a vision of the people she works for. That said, share with us, Jamie, how this all started. That backstory, the education, the people you work with, the people who supported you. Take your time, man.
We're going to go all the way back. I would say the one thing that I've been just blessed with is having the character of curiosity.
Woo!
That's been the one, I don't know, what would you call that? Talent, characteristic, whatever that be, that has allowed me a number of things, allowed me to take chances. So therefore, what happens when you're always putting yourself in an uncomfortable situation, your threshold goes up, right? You do more and more. And because of that curiosity, it continually opened up more doors, more windows, everything, right? So I've been in this industry now, we're coming up on 30 years. Basically the only thing I've ever done. I tried one time to get out. I was like, I'm done. I'm not doing it anymore. The industry, I went and became a substitute teacher for a bit. I was like, I'm just going to explore what is it that I want to do.
Can I stop you for a point? Because it's almost a compelling question. Given that your whole career has been here, what in the process would make you say, I'm going to step to something else?
So, okay. So at that time when I was like, I need to step away, you know what it was? I think it was during that period of time. I was 29, 30, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, is this like, it's killer days, killer hours, right? It was always project related. So you're talking about, average of 65 hours a week. Put commutes on it, and it was just becoming so much. And I didn't feel I was being challenged. And I think that's the reason why. But I had in my mind that I'd be in this industry since I was 5 years old. So I was just like, I got to go back. I got to go back. That's where the heart is. That's where the passion is. And so it was really a hiatus of 8 months. And in fact, during that time, it was like June timeframe that I was like, I'm good doing this. I'm not coming back. Yeah, that following NAB, I was back into business, which is in April, right? So tried to leave. got pulled back. But I even went to school for it. So I went to school at University of Florida.
Yes, ma'am.
And what most people don't know, because they think of media and entertainment,
Mm-hmm.
they always think it from the creative side. Um, the business is so big that remember those old comic strips, Family Circus,
Yes.
right? And they go up and around and turn through, and that's exactly what my career has been all through media entertainment, which has been great, right? To satisfy that curiosity
Absolutely.
piece to it. So yeah, and so worked so many years, both on the vendor side, which
Mm-hmm.
I adored because you got to travel, you got to talk to all different types of customers, and you're always up on the latest technology. And then there was a few times I worked on the customer side. So I worked at Turner, which is now Warner Brothers Discovery.
Mm-hmm.
I worked at Discovery, which is now Warner Brothers Discovery, NBC Universal, Paramount, but always came back to the vendor side. So now to finally get to your initial question, Dynadue. So we started this. So basically, it was June 2nd, I think it was like 2023. I had just resigned from Amazon Web Services. It was the
Mm-hmm.
second time actually being there, and I was like, you know what, and I was like, well, one great thing to be able to help customers, like when you're on the vendor side, you help customers, but at the end of the day, you have to go with your technology, your solution, right? And I wanted the ability to be agnostic and to be able just to help on whatever way that the customer needed help. And so my husband and I talked about it. So my last day with AWS was on Friday. On Monday, we formed a company. And by the way, starting a company in the summertime, not the best strategy because everyone's on holiday. But what I did was I took the time throughout the summer to talk to the vendor community and say, hey, I'm doing this now, right? So getting that out so everyone knew and then having that word of mouth happen. We landed our very first customer in October. We're still working with that customer as well with it. And it's been an absolute blessing that to this day, the work has still just have come to my husband and I. Like I haven't had to pound the pavement, haven't had to do sales, like that type of work, and just be able to do the projects that I want to do and make a living. So every year I say, if it doesn't work out this year, I'll go get a real job next year. We're good this year. So
I love it. And everything you said is just chock full of rich kinds of activities and experiences. And I want to deal with that directly right now
mm,
in a really good way. Your leadership and your co-leadership with your husband,
mm-hmm.
all of the things that you did at Warner and Turner and Amazon must have taught you a lot about interacting with people. They're your customers. And I'm just curious about some of the things, and you can relate this to what you're doing with your company now,
Mm-hmm.
but you learn them by going through to get your breakthrough, to knowing how to influence people
That's right.
to become their best, which this show is all about. Take your time. You may have some examples of the things you gained from that experience, and you may be able to just talk about how you're applying it now
Mm-hmm.
or putting them both together. Take your time.
Yeah. So when it comes down, no matter what you're doing, it's earn trust. I'm a
Mm.
big believer on earn trust. And so that goes not only to your customers, right? Which you have to influence, right? When you have a team, you are influencing, but they're a part of your work, and so it's a different styling, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's apples and oranges,
Mm-hmm.
right? Being a direct influence versus inferred
Mm-hmm.
influence
Mm-hmm.
with it. But the biggest thing is earn trust at the end of the day. Um, I do a lot of mentoring. I'm at that part in my life, right? Where I do a lot of mentoring. I always stress the earn trust. So what does that mean? It means that when you say something, you're going to do something. But it also means that um, people feel more comfortable in this crazy world when they know you got their back. And I think that's a big piece to it all. And that's why I put earned trust. And it's one of the reasons why I've been blessed to have created a really great career for myself. My reputation is everything.
Mm-hmm.
And they can go focus on something else because I'll come back to them. But I got it. Don't worry about it. This is going to happen.
You know, all the things that you're talking about and unfolding are covered by McKinsey and Company, by the Gallup organization, by Brookings Institute. All right, now here's a point of curiosity for me.
Mm.
In your background coming up as a young person with your family, with your elementary school, your middle school, what kind of things help to shape the character and conduct that you have now?
I'm actually going to give all the credit with that growing up to my stepdad. And he was my dad, right?
Yes, ma'am.
My stepdad. For a few things. First off, God, he was always so proud of me. Like he was the kind of guy that he would puff up his chest, right? Jamie made honor roll. Jamie did, right? All those type of things. He also he did not see me as a girl. He saw me as this intelligent being that was going to go conquer the world. And lastly, he was a really hard worker. And it was the pride of work. Like when I was a kid, I couldn't wait to go work. Like it was a part of the DNA of the house. It was a part of, like I said, the pride and fulfillment of that. And he taught me things like, I first job was as a busser, right? You get done bussing, you see a broom, pick up the broom, keep working. You don't stop. And those small things, it might be like, yeah, that's it is what it is, but that actually started me understanding what earned trust was, because now you had an employer saying, oh, she doesn't stop. Oh, she goes and does this. She is always going above and beyond. Now they say, I can always count on Jamie.
What I'm hearing is that your dad shared with you the head, the heart,
Yep,
the habits, and the hands willing to work of being a good team member. And the best team member is always the best leader, the influencer, the things you've talked about. This is hitting my heart deeply because I couldn't think of a better way to look at what the backstory is in terms of that.
My husband has this great saying for me, and he's a huge fan too, right? And I'm a huge fan of him. But everyone has certain skill sets, and there's a lot of things I'm not good at, right? But there are certain things that I am very good at. My husband will be the first. Always says to people, like, when it comes to Jamie, you can send her into enemy territory. Not only will she complete the mission, she would have converted 30 people and brought it back over.
I love it. Love it.
I was like, oh, that's so sweet.
He is an absolute fan.
He is.
Evan Shapiro is a media cartographer who's out there now, and he has this concept called fandom. And it goes far beyond, I'm going to turn the TV on, watch the game, watch the Eagles play. Nobody.
I was born outside Philadelphia in Voorhees, New Jersey.
Voorhees?
Yes, sir.
I know well. Absolutely. Ultimately, and it's not so much Evan I'm talking about, and I love him to death, but the idea where people will do more than just watch it. They will get the merchandise. They'll talk to their cousin, their friends about it. That's something that happens in leadership. There's a fan going on. Now, you're speaking about it in terms of your husband, but that's the same thing you've been sharing concerning working with people.
Yeah.
And that's huge in an era where there's sometimes this chaos. Many of the compasses of morality we used to look at have gone to pot.
That's right. That's right.
But all that said, that backstory is fabulous. Tell me more about what's happening with your company right now. Some of the challenges you're experiencing, and more important, the things that energize you, they may be one and the same. Sometimes opportunities
Yep.
and challenges are the same, but take your time. I'm curious about what you're thinking.
Well, first off, we'll keep this real. It's not, kumbaya every day.
Yes, ma'am.
Right, right. And it is in the scenario like my husband and I had, let me step back. One of the great things on what we do is that the things that I can go deep on from a technical point of view, my husband is a bit more of a generalist. There are things, so many things my husband goes deep on that I'm the generalist. So therefore, we're able to kind of divide and conquer depending on what the project is, what the customer needs, and be able to, okay, I'll do this piece. It's almost like doing chores in the house, right?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to do the vacuuming. You're going to take out the trash, right? I'll do the dishes. Same scenario there. So he actually also takes care of the back of the house of the business, right? So he deals with the accounting and all those pieces. And I do, because I've been in the vendor world so much, by default, I've been out being the face of it, right? All right, so one part of your question, we're not hitting any challenges. Now, let's put that aside. But we're helping customers with their challenges, right? It is a very disruptive economy. It's a very disruptive economy for this specific industry. It is when I grew up, right? There's two things I know. I'd never get a pension. That's not going to ever be a thing. And there was not going to be any Social Security. So get it done, right? Type scenario. But it is that you have more people less people doing more work, and they just need help, right? And sometimes it's the aspect of helping them on okay, let me show you how to do the front part of the strategy. Let's build the strategy together. We'll do the heavy lifting. We'll put it together. We will talk you through it so that you can go get approvals, or we'll come with you in the aspect with it. We'll help convert that over to the tacticals. And it could be a thing where we help bring in staff aug for that. It could be pieces where we do the staff aug as well with that. And again, and then it's just keeping it so that at the end of the day, the customer is successful. And that is when a customer not only is successful, but they also grew in their skill sets, technical, whatever else, that part is so fulfilling.
I love it. And as you were speaking, what came to mind in terms of a nucleus of what you were saying is the concept of mindfulness.
Yes.
Being in the moment. It's one thing to have a plan, but you can't be at the touchdown line until you get there.
That's right.
And having skill sets, drive, curiosity to get there is important, because very few things are in a straight line.
They are not. They are not. And it's one of the things like I've worked at a lot of places. And again, I've worked in a lot of places because, I talked about, there's no pension for me, like just how Gen X wise became an industry, that wasn't going to be a thing. And so as a part of that, I always chased curiosity. So what does that mean? I've had the absolute blessing to be able to do this. But when I work at a place, once I stop learning, that's when I leave and I move on. Because I don't manage.
Right.
That is not me. I'm not managed. Like I the day to day for 15 years. Oh no, I couldn't do that. And it's really funny is that over the years, and again, media and entertainment is a massive industry, but it's actually a small when it comes to the people. Like we're at NAB. This is like old friends, like hugging left and right, always being late for things because, oh my God, how are you doing? Right. And everything else. But throughout my career, employers would hire me knowing I'm a flight risk, but don't care because they know how much that I will give for that 2 or 3 years is invaluable, which is a blessing, right? And then I will continue on. And there's places I've gone back. They're like, come on, why don't you come back? We got this thing. You don't have to stay long, but, do X, Y, and Z. I'm like, yeah, okay, that sounds interesting.
Which speaks to the trust factor.
That's right.
That you emphasize and underscore. Tell me, all this leads to more questions that I have. And tell me what it is that you're doing with your supply chain. I know that Right now, the business is you and your husband. You
Yeah.
get it done. You
Yep.
get the job done, as they say. But in that process, you've also emphasized that you solve the problems for your customers. Well, those customers you can't supply everything
No.
they need. So there's a supply chain
Mhm.
of people that you've built trust with as if they were your employees.
That's right.
Tell me about how you choose those people and how you attract them, in some way develop them, might be called training, to be their best in regard to, if you will, this supply chain value that's there. Take your time.
Yep. So we are a consulting firm, right? And so therefore everything is and more on the business and technical side. So all of our offerings is within our brain and also execution, right? And so there is plenty of times like customers are like, we want you to do this, and I'll say, you know what? You're not going to get your value out of us for that. You're going to pay too much. This is not. But so what we have done is we've gone out and made partnerships with other small companies that we explicitly trust. Like we've worked throughout the years in some form or fashion. And I know that they have the same culture, same. It's about earning trust. It's about getting it done. So we typically, what we do is we'll bring them in. And here's the other thing. So I'll bring them in. We don't do subcontracting. We don't do any of that, right? So therefore, that our partner can come in
Okay.
and negotiate whatever it is. And then we're just get to be a part of a team, which is great because like getting the band back together again, and right, and we do the work. But the other thing is that I bring them to the customer, and I'll tell the customer like I'm not gonna. I highly recommend them, but you need to interview them to make sure it fits for you. Let me know how it goes. How any other way I can help you.
Right.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. It sounds like it's not kumbaya, but
Nope.
what it is human positive interaction, giving respect to what you do and what other people do better
That's
to
right.
help your customer. It doesn't get better than that. Can you share a few experiences with one or two of those customers that sticks in your mind as a great success when you were attempting to solve their problem? There's no wrong answer to this. I'm just
No.
curious.
All right, I'm going to state this. It's not going to hit it right on the head on nail on the head. Nail on the head. It's not going to be directly nail on the head. Head on the nail. What is the saying? Nail on the head.
It's all good.
All right.
Whatever you want it to be today.
whatever it is, I'll stay away from metaphors. So I had this one customer. They were doing a master control refresh.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So master control, where commercials and program, it's the last point before it gets distributed out to whatever device you want to look at, or old school antenna, like all that stuff. And there was, as a part of this company, there were these two silos, and the other side of it. So you could count this master control as, let's say, old school, if you will. It's not the right terminology, but let's say it. And then there was a digital group. So we've worked across, my husband and I, all of that, and they didn't talk to each other. And it was like, because that is that business. I don't know that one, and vice versa on the other side. So totally not within the scope of the project or anything else. But for the team on the master control side, I said, what are you doing on Friday? And I said, can you give me 2 hours? And like, yeah, what do you think? I said, I'm going to teach you streaming. I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to break it down. I'm going to show the terminology to it. So I'm going to demystify it. And they're like, that would be fantastic. I said, no problem. So went through it and everything else. And I said this, I'm like, oh, that's just like this I'm doing. I'm like, that's right. It's just another way to do it. And so now what that allowed is these two teams, and I did on the opposite side as well, can now start speaking that same language. And then they realized, oh, wait, you're doing it? I'm doing that. Well, we shouldn't both be doing it. And they started being able to get efficiencies, right? They could scale because they started to understand that, oh, well, you're already doing that and you're doing that at high quality. Can you just send that to me and we'll start? So it saves on money. right? It's literally saves on money for the cost of things, but also people's time and such. And then it was just a rewarding aspect when that light bulb goes off.
I love what you're saying. It really underscores a concept and an activity that goes on. It's called collective impact.
Mm,
When you look at the value chain and having each person do what they do well or learn what they need to learn to make it more efficient, it just creates a circumstance with you being the backbone with your organization, um, helping people be their best,
just
helping their
enabling.
organizations. Yeah, absolutely. I love it. Um, let's as we come to a close here, we could talk for days. I have no doubt about it. I just enjoy listening to you. There are a couple things I want to do. One is a word association game, concerning purpose and things like that. Another is just making sure that as we close on this session, that we have an opportunity for you to share anything we haven't shared so far that's important to you. Um, I'm curious though right now, because we've talked about your husband a couple of
Hmm.
times. How important is your family? I don't know if uh, your father, your stepfather. I think he's just your father,
He is my
based
daddy.
upon what I
He is my
hear.
daddy.
Is
Yes.
he still alive?
Nah, he's passed.
Okay, but we know how important he was with you. But there are other family members and your husband. How important are they in your continued growth and progress?
I'm going to say both friends and family
Okay,
because I
okay.
have friends that are like I have my girl, my best friend. We've been best friends since I was 12 years old. We've stood up in each other's weddings. She helped me move back when I got a divorce. All the, not the current husband, mind you. But we're first roommates, so we learned a lot with living together. So when you look at friends and family, I have my nieces and my nephew who they're my kids. I don't have
Mm-hmm.
kids. They're my
Mm-hmm.
kids. Um, my brother and my sister-in-law, like they're my best friends. So
Sweet.
that's why I was like friends and family. It's like I have friends who she's my sister, and then I have a sister who's like, no, that's my friend.
I love it. The besties of the world
That's right,
are
one hundred
very,
percent.
very important
Yep, yep.
because they know you, have known you for a long time, sometimes even better than your family. But
Oh,
it, it's,
they'll keep it real.
yeah, I mean,
They'll be like, what are you doing?
these
Ah,
circles of support are, I hear you,
yep,
they're huge.
yep.
Let's do a word association game before we close out with you. Um, First word, purpose.
Bootstraps.
Ooh, get the job done.
Yes, sir.
I
That's right.
love it.
That's
I
right.
love it. All right. Calling.
All opportunities. So opportunities, like take the opportunity.
I got you. Raise your hand. I'll do it.
That's right.
And I've heard it the
What could go
entire
wrong?
conversation. I mean, you've chosen a particular career
Mm.
and it appears as though you're called to do it because you continue to grow and advance in it. I love it.
Oh, I got a story on that one too.
I will take your time. Go right ahead.
You want to do that now? Okay.
Come on.
Okay.
Don't stop.
So
You got
again,
this.
we're at NAB, right?
Yeah.
So my last semester in college, right? Now, I worked 3, 4 jobs. I put myself through college, right? I couldn't buy a book. I couldn't afford books. I just went to class every day, right? And so come January, I start putting out resumes. I can't get a bite, not one. And I remember I was like, it was a February timeframe. I was out at a bar shooting pool, and some guys had come in who were in my college, telecommunications, and then like they're selling insurance now. They couldn't get a job,
Mm.
and I was like, there is no way I am not getting a job in this industry after all the time and everything else. And so I had found out that there is during NEB, right before NEB,
Hmm.
there's BEA,
Hmm.
Broadcasters Educators of
Yes.
America, right? And so, and I found out with that. So if you went to BEA, you could get into NAB. And if you were a student, you could get EEA and NAB. You could go for free. Right. So that was fantastic. I said, okay. But they had a career fair. And I knew if I could just talk to somebody, that's all I need to do, I would get that interview. So I had a credit card. It had a $500 limit on it. Right. So have my credit card, $500 limit. I call up a traveling. And I was like, help me book so for $420, the number is very important. For $420, they got me round trip. I stayed at Palace Station, which, that was almost 30 years ago and it was old then, but it was a great place, affordable shuttle, like all done with that. And I had one suit. So got myself all dressed up, went to the career fest, went through, shook hands, had 3 interviews set up before I left the career fair. And I was like, that's it. That's because I knew that's all I needed. I went back to Palace Station. I was excited and everything else. And I had $50. And I was like, you know what? I'm feeling good. I'm going to play roulette. And I walked up to that table and I put down that $50 on black.
Oh,
I won $420.
oh.
Now you tell me I wasn't just made to do this industry.
That's something spiritual.
Right? And I was like,
that's
okay.
I am so glad that we did this. There's nothing here that can't be changed. One of the things that just underscored for me as you were speaking is that experience, exposure, professional examples lead to an in-game cycle that always is good. Now, there's another cycle after.
Oh, it always opens up that next one. Yep, absolutely.
Just as a point of reference, when I had the honor to greet you today as you were coming into the studio, I was talking to a young man who's here studying to be an electrical engineer, part of a TAP program, which offers circles of support around him.
Right.
And we were talking about this very thing, that you need to have experience with people who are in the business. You need to understand what they've learned by going through to get their breakthrough, and the game changes. Your social capital is there.
Oh, that's a great word.
Talk to me.
Well,
You got this.
It goes back to that earned trust aspect, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And people, people always say, networking, but no, networking, that's not the answer. The social, what did you say? Social capital?
Yes.
Yeah, because you put time in, you built a relationship with it. It's not just networking like, oh, I sent that LinkedIn request, will you, and that's not, it is the relationship that you put work into to make. And then all of a sudden another person like, oh, I'm going to help you out. Let me, let me make a call for someone, but now I'm putting my name on the line. So make sure you deliver. And then, start building to, within that momentum.
Jamie, I love this. I am enjoying this conversation so much. What you just made me think about was a gentleman I interviewed a couple weeks ago. And I met him here in 2023 at a meeting before the meeting of NAB with a bunch of folk from around the world. He was the VP of HP then.
Okay.
Now he's the general manager of Supermicro. But I was not able to set up a time to talk to him from 2023 until a couple of weeks ago. This is the nature of building genuine relationships, because we've talked many times since then, and we've used social media he's here because he oversees Europe, Africa, and the Middle East. But what's important is what you're saying. Build that trust, build the relationship so that you can take your business to another level. You can get your resume to somebody who will give you the job that you want. The next word I have for you.
Okay,
We can roll this way because this is conversation where people can go over here, and still keep focused with the backbone. So, do you have a peak human potential? Is it boundless? You tell me.
You want that answer in one word?
whatever you want to say. Your sentence, paragraph.
Sentence, paragraphs. I won't. I'll do a little bit more Mark Twain than Shakespeare.
Come on now,
because,
come on.
But there hasn't been anything in life that when I make the concerted effort that I don't succeed at.
Hold up. Give me a pound. Give me a pound. That's what I'm talking about. Go ahead. Continue.
And so case in point, we talked about, so I did the Democroft events yesterday,
yes.
right? A moderator on that panel. That was actually the first time I ever moderated. I've talked on plenty of stages and I've been a panelist, but I've never been a moderator, and that's a different role.
Mhm.
Right? That's not only a fact of time management, but you have to ask interesting questions. You have to let the panelists play off of each other. Then you got to catch up and okay, I have 90 seconds and everything else.
You nailed it.
Thank you.
I'm going to say that right now. Now you go ahead, go right ahead.
But I prepped for that for at least a week and a half.
Good.
Right? And so the work, I got a lot of great compliments. It's like, all right, great. And someone's like, you want to do it again? I'm like, I don't know. I want to end on that high, but no, there hasn't anything. Now, things that I haven't had great results on, that's on me because I didn't put the effort into it. And so therefore that can't say it in one word, but I would say, investment.
I love it. And all of the things that you've said come together in peak human potential. Curiosity, bootstraps, work hard, invest in relationships that are genuine.
And that's not dirty words. Work hard
Oh,
and
no.
bootstraps.
Oh, no.
The journey is the best part.
Come on.
Not the end. That's right.
Yeah. I concur with you 100%. All right. Final word, and respond to it any way you want. We say word association game, but whatever you want to say. I like your analogy, Mark Twain or Shakespeare. I love it. All right, go ahead. Last one.
Okay.
Service to others.
The only word, love.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay, now I got to come back at you on that one because I love it. There are words of action. You are a person of action.
Yes,
Your
sir.
dad told you that a long time ago. Get busy. Those words have a Greek root and they all end in VE. Now, there are many of them, but I'm going to name 4. And this is what I'm thinking about as I listen carefully to you. Forgive.
Yes.
Love.
Yes.
Believe.
A good one. Yes.
Serve.
Yes.
So this is the sum total of everything I've heard from you today. And I'm just honored and delighted to have this conversation. Look, we're coming to a close. I would be remiss in not saying to you, what do you want to say to the world about anything that we haven't talked about? What relates to this kind of conversation? Take your time.
Be true.
Ooh.
Just be true. If you just be true, the world, the universe, it brings everything to you, and it brings the right things to you. And it doesn't mean about religion or anything else. It's just overall, right? So, big lover of science, laws of physics, right? Energy can never be created or destroyed, only transferred. So be true. That energy is going to be transferred and it's going to come to you. And then you're going to be able to amplify it. And then you're going to be able to transfer it and keep that spear going with it. But be true. Life's too short. Life is too short.
Absolutely adore this conversation. Give me a hug. I want a hug. You are wonderful. That's a wrap.